Hey everyone, what's up? It's Pro here, and welcome to this tutorial on variables and switches. In this guide, you'll be learning exactly how to use them and what they're for. So first we ask the question, what is a variable? A variable is something that stores information. With RPG Maker MV, you're limited to about 5,000 variables, but in actuality, all of these are actually stored in one variable called an array. Now, you can name the array entry. Let's say variable number 1 is potions, for example. Keep in mind that this is just a name. It's not the actual potions that are in your inventory or anything like that. You can name it blah 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 if you wanted to. It's up to you. But you can set that variable, add by, subtract by, multiply, divide, and you can get the remainder with mod. So there's a lot of advanced things that you can do. You can also modify a range of variables. So you can modify a variable 1 through 25 or 14 or whatever. Now you have constant, which is a solid number. Variable, which means you can set potions to another one or add, subtract, or whatever else you set up here to another variable. Random, between these two numbers. And in the game data, this is where the advanced stuff comes in. We can set the variable called potion equal to the amount of potions we have in our inventory. We can also use it to check and see how many weapons and armors we have. We can use it to check and see our character's stats. We can basically, this variable will equal whatever you select here, obviously. And if you're using a battle event, you can set it equal to one of the enemy's stats if you're needing to do anything like that. If you're doing some eventing for the map, you can set direction, map X, and screen X. Screen X is the X and Y position of tiles based on the top left corner of the screen to the bottom right corner of the screen on a 48 by 48 grid, so whatever. If you change your screen resolution, it's however many tiles would fit on that screen, I believe. It can also go into the negatives, I believe. So if it's above the screen and to the left of the screen, but it's off screen, it'll likely equal a negative value. 0 would be the top left screen X and screen Y. You can also set it equal to a party member's ID. This is actually quite useful for making events that check and see, for example, you can have an event to where they will say a different thing if another party member talks to them. And you also have stuff like this, like map ID, party members, gold, steps, playtime, timer. So if you have a timer, you can use this for some reason. I don't know why you would do this, because you can already use a conditional branch to check the timer. But that'd be in a different tutorial. Save count, so you can count how many times you save the game. Battle count, win count, and escape count. So if you're making if you make a battle arena, for example, to where you have to have so many battles before they'll let you in, you can do that sort of kind of thing. And now script. Scripting is used to set it equal to things that are not available in the current selection things. So, for example, if you're using a custom plugin, you can set a variable equal to a specific value in that if you wanted to, or you can set it equal to a string like I'm a cheeseburger. Although I don't think they're supposed to be separated. So, if you want to display that variable, you can go to show text and you can do \v1 because we've edited variable 1. Up here it'll say 0, but since we put it as a script, and the text, when we play test the game, you will see that it will indeed be whatever that value was. See, there you go. I'm a cheeseburger. Now let's get a little bit advanced here. Let's create a variable called mushrooms, and just click on cancel so we don't have anything in this event here. We're going to go ahead and keep that event blank. Now, what we're going to do is we're just going to create a little event, and I need to change the tile set for this. So we're going to go ahead and change the tile set to outside. And I'm going to create an event with a mushroom graphic by going to tile set B and finding the mushrooms. Here they are. setting the priority to same as characters, and playing a sound effect when you get the mushroom. We're going to play the item sound. And then what we're going to do is we're going to control variables. We're going to add mushrooms, by 1. And then we're going to do control self switch, which by the way is a personal switch. You have A, B, C, and D. It's sort of like a switch that's not, well, global. It's a personal switch that only this event can use. Then we're going to click on a new event page here, and we're going to check the self switch box. So this basically means that once you collect the mushroom item here, that the mushroom will disappear forever. I'm going to copy and paste this 2 or 3 times. So we have a total of 4. Now in this event here, what I'm going to do is what's called a conditional branch. I'm not really going to get too into this because this video is only going to be covering switches and variables and understanding how to use them properly. So what we're going to be doing is, okay, let me explain this first. This is equal to, this is greater than or equal to, this is less than or equal to, this is greater than, this is less than, and this is not equal to. So, what we need to check and see is if the amount of mushrooms picked up is greater than or equal to 4. So like, let's say you have like 30 mushrooms, but you only need to collect 15, then you would say greater than or equal to 15. Even if you collect all 30, the remaining ones aren't going to matter. Thank you. If so, then we're going to say thank you. Now you can also check the else branch to create if you wanted to create an additional message here saying you haven't collected enough yet. Something like that. Now, we're going to add... Okay, we're going to basically add money based on how many mushrooms you've collected. So in order to do that, we need to create a second variable called money. Let's go ahead and call it reward, actually. Let's call it reward. And we're going to set it equal to mushrooms. Then we're going to multiply by however much each mushroom cost. So let's say 5. So let's say each mushroom is worth 5 gold. Now we're going to change gold, increase, variable, reward. And then after that, we're going to set the variable reward back to 0 like it should be. And if you wanted to, you can say some text like before resetting the variable, you can say I'll give you /2 because reward is the second variable. You can see the number on the screen right here. G for this. And if you press F2, it says 0G, but when we actually start the game, you'll see what I mean. So that is a conditional branch on how to use them with variables. So we're going to have like a bunch of mushrooms here, but you only need to collect 4 again. So let me show you how this works. So I made a small mistake. I accidentally multiplied mushrooms by 5 instead of reward. Those are common mistakes that will probably be made a lot. It's kind of easy to forget to change the variable up at the top because I don't know, for some reason you just get it in your head sometimes that like it's this natural thing. Anyway, we haven't collected enough yet. As you see, we collect 4 here. There we go. And he says, thank you. I'll give you 20G for this. As you see, it multiplied correctly. Now if we collect more, I haven't set it up so that the event stops, so if we collect all of them, we're going to be rich as fuck. Not really. So after that, you can do the same thing again with these switches, but we're going to use regular switches now. So, we're going to create a switch called Mushroom Event. And we're going to turn it on at the end of the reward thing. Now, we're going to do a new event page. We're going to select the same graphic. And then we're going to check the switch box, and we're going to select Mushroom Event. These are the conditions over here. As you seen earlier, we use self-switch. You can have it to where... it's pretty much self-explanatory. These are... You can have it to where 2 switches have to be on in order for this event to process, or 2 switches in a variable, so on and so forth. But we're going to select the switch mushroom event. And then he's going to say, thanks for helping me. Now, on one of the mushroom events, we're going to create another new page. Make sure it's on 3. And we're going to select the mushroom event, just like we did before. So that way, we're just going to replace all the other mushrooms. That way, after the event's over, all the mushrooms are going to disappear. Because the minigame is no longer valid. You can do whatever you want. They don't just have to disappear. You can have it say, like, just some random text pop up or something. But if these are scattered across a forest and the player doesn't feel like finding the rest of them, then you can have them disappear like so. One, 2, 3, 4. Now, talk to him. Thank you. I'll give you 20G for this. And as you see, all the mushrooms there disappeared. And he says, thanks for helping me. So that is how you properly use switches. Now, just like before, you can also have conditional branches as well to check if a switch is on or off and whatnot. So that's the best way I know of explaining switches and variables, and I hope you guys enjoyed. Let me know in the comments about your creations and if this helped you out at all. So I'll see you guys later. Thank you all so much for watching. Peace out.